Here at Helmuth Ford, we are a small-town dealership with no hassle and no pressure.
Hi, this is Stacy from Shetler Insurance Services. Come see me on the east side of the square in Sigourney for all your insurance needs.
Get ready because Tyler Richardson and the High Bank Boys are coming to Sigourney on Saturday, April 26th at Enchanted Events, 20595 255th Street, just south of Sigourney. Order your tickets online by going to enchantedeventsvenue.com or find the Enchanted Events Facebook page for the ticket links. There are 3 different ticket options: general admission, VIP, or reserve. Doors open at 7 and the cash bar and band starts at 8. It's Tyler Richardson and the High Bank Boys, Saturday, April 26th at Enchanted Events, just south of Sigourney.
Welcome to this edition of Morgan You Asked For podcast. 15th, tax day. Trev, you got your taxes done?
About a month ago. They're done.
All right, there you go. Taxes are done. Tax day about a little after 9 o'clock. Here on a Tuesday, windy. Is it windy out there? It's been super windy here. I was at a golf tournament the last 2 days. Super windy both days. Today was much, much better than yesterday. We were down in Centerville today. Yesterday in Ankeny was the temperature is not horrible, but it was so windy. It was just really, really cold.
I'm in Phoenix. It was 92 yesterday and like 90 today or something like that. I don't know. It's warm, so not very windy. Little different weather than what you guys have got. I played golf first round of the year yesterday.
Well, I played golf on Sunday with the boys, and it was windy Sunday as well. So I mean, it's springtime in Iowa. I mean, it is supposed to be windy, but I do think it's getting worse.
Wind. I'd rather play in light rain or a little bit of cold weather than wind. I feel like wind's the worst when it comes to golf. It just you can't hear the people talking next to you. Your shots are going more left or more right than normal, and it just I'd rather there be a light rain than wind when I'm golfing.
Yeah, wind is just the great equalizer, and we didn't play great yesterday. We played much better today, but it was one of those, if you're off just a little bit and then the wind gets a hold of it, it knocks it down or pushes it the wrong way or whatever. It does exactly what you don't want it to do, and then it just exuberates the little bit off that we all are when we play golf anyway.
Yeah, that's right. Unless you're playing in a 4-man like I did yesterday, then it doesn't matter. So
right.
You don't really care if you mess up. But yeah, wind's always the worst. And speaking of golf, I think that's where we got to get started.
Yep.
First thing tonight, at least, was the Masters. Rory coming through, going into the final round with the lead, then dropping it, then looking like he's going to run away with it. Then 13, he loses it again. Here comes Justin Rose. 18, he hits a perfect drive. You think it's over. Then he goes in the sand. Yep. It's the way it had to be, I guess, for Rory, right?
Yeah, not easy. And people forget that Oberg had a putt to take the lead, I think, on 16.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was it most likely wasn't going to make it, but he actually had the putt for the lead. And then he went for it and tripled. I think he maybe doubled 17 and then tripled 18. So he lost. And that's so he lost the golf tournament. But it's amazing how much money these guys lose. If he'd have got second, it's like $2.6 million, and he got like 6th, and it's like $400,000. I mean, like a $2 million swing by 2 bad holes.
Yeah, I saw something. He lost a ton of money there. So yeah, it got wild there at the last. But like they say, it was true this year again. The back nine or the Masters doesn't begin until the back nine on Sunday, and that's exactly what happened again this year.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Rory. He had 4 double bogeys on the week, 2 on Thursday, and then 2 on Sunday. First champion ever to have 4 double bogeys. So you think about, so he lost 8 shots and still shot 11 under par. So if he would have just done half of it, he would have been 15 under. And then he missed short putts again. I mean, he had a great shot on 15 and missed a 5 or 6 footer for eagle. He still got birdie. And then 18, he missed one. I mean, he had a great shot in there on 17. But yeah, that the wedge play is his downfall. It really is, and it almost cost him. 13 was a wedge after he laid up, went into the creek, and then a wedge on 18 that went into the bunker and couldn't get up and down.
Yeah, he's been working on his wedges a lot. They've been talking about that. 13, I think that's just a classic. He's the best player in the world right now. That's a nerve shot. He just he didn't get through with it. His touch was off on that. That was total nerves. 18, I felt like it was just it was more just it was both nerves, right? But 13 especially, because all he had to do was just get it over, get to the middle of the green. Where
he didn't even need to. Yeah, it just kind of the one on, and he talked about it. He was 2 yards different in the playoff than he was in regulation, but he said the lie was so much better. He was a little bit further away from that bunker. He was relatively close to the bunker on his drive in regulation, and so I think the lie wasn't great, and then obviously he didn't get through it. But then, and hats off to Justin Rose. I mean, he had 10 birdies on the day. Sat for an hour. I mean, obviously he's hitting balls and everything, but comes back, hits a perfect drive, hits a really good iron in, probably, I'm assuming it was a wedge, maybe a 9-iron at most, to 12 feet. I mean, it was a good shot and just missed the putt. But how about Rory just stepping in and almost getting a tap in? I mean, and did you watch that putt though? It didn't just go in the center. It went left side. I mean, it wasn't just he about yipped that one too.
He about missed it. And, Justin Rose, that was an amazing day. I was looking on DraftKings going into Sunday, and they had some bets you can make where who would have the most birdies on Sunday.
Yeah.
It didn't matter how many bogeys or pars anyone had birdies. So I threw one on Schauffele, Reed, and Max Homa. Obviously I didn't win that because it was Rose, but I think Rose was like 40 or 30 to 1 to have the most birdies. So
that would have been a good bet.
Would have been a good bet. And then going into Sunday too. So I bet Bryson at the casino before the tournament. I had Rory in our pool. Yep. And then I also had Jason Day and Patrick Reed. So going into the final day, I was
covered pretty good.
Yeah, I thought so. And then I wasn't going into the back nine after a whole 11, 12, 13. I mean, like I said, probably going into Sunday, I was probably like an 8.8 on the confidence scale. Like one of my guys will win. I don't need both Rory and Bryson to go low, but one of them probably will. Neither did, of course. Right. And so anyway, I ended up surviving though. Rory got it done. But yeah, that final putt there on the playoff hole, you're right. He came close to missing that one too. And that's as maybe not nerve-wracking, but just up and down of a final round that I can remember at the Masters. My favorite Masters was 2019 when Tiger won.
Yep.
Had the big comeback. Our buddy Vince was at that one, which that's probably got to be the best Masters to be at. But this one, as far as the drama goes, it's the most dramatic Sunday I can remember. And then you just saw Rory break down on 18 there instantly. I mean, it was just the weight of the world was off his shoulders finally.
And that's where it was. I mean, it was pressure. It was 11 years of pressure. It was the LIV PGA Tour pressure stuff. It was life pressure. It was, you could just feel it. People forget he had a 4-shot lead going into the back nine in 2011. It would have been his first major. Now he went on to win the U.S. Open. The next major was U.S. Open at that time and won it by 8 shots. But he's had his opportunities, and he has truly blown it. And he blew it last year at the U.S. Open. He's blown others. Now this is his 5th one. This isn't, it's not his first major, but he's a 6th person to have the career Grand Slam. The most it had ever taken any of the others was 3 times, and he was 11. That's impressive. The actual impressive, it's not that Rory took 11 years to do it. It's that everybody else, a few of them did it in their first try, and then no one had taken more than 3 tries to do it.
Yeah, for Rory, I mean, it's like you said, 11 years. Every time he came into this tournament, it's almost like Phil at the U.S. Open, or has been over the years, where each year that goes by, it's more and more pressure because your time's running out. At some age, you're just not going to be able to compete. Now, Augusta's a little bit different. Older guys can't compete there because it's not a super long course compared to like a U.S. Open. But yeah, for Rory, I was happy for him that when he and Bryson teed off on one, it felt like a UFC event. It felt like Dana White should have been walking out, and one of the Buffer brothers should have been out there announcing, like golfing out of the red corner, Bryson DeChambeau, and golfing out of Ireland. Rory, I mean, that whole PGA versus Live thing that's going on right now is actually good for golf at the moment. And the Masters, I think, benefits even more because it's the first tournament of the year where all these guys really get together. So it's the Masters on steroids right now with this whole Live PGA thing they still have going on.
Yeah, it's almost flipped that, 5 years ago it would have been 99% Rory, 1% Bryson. Now it's not, because there's a lot of people that are, and I don't think it's all his fault, but not happy with Rory that when he just crumpled, when the Live and PGA said they were coming together, which they still have not, he just crumpled and just went with it. And essentially he was the PGA Tour punching bag that they served him up, and he just took it and kind of laid down. And but yeah, I was glad to see him win. He's fun to watch, and he is little. People don't understand how small he is and how far he hits that golf ball. And then it was the funniest thing when he got into the press room. He said, "Well, what are we going to talk about next year?" Which is true, because that was the number one topic every year. And this was the time that many people picked him to win. They really did. They thought this was his best chance. He's playing really good golf. Won the Players Championship and won a couple other times. His form is really good, and he played the best of the year of everybody this year at the Masters. Even if he would have lost, he played the best. Now, he had some bonehead plays, but overall, over the course of the entire week, he played the best golf.
Yeah, he did. We talked about it in the preview show. Rory was the one guy that I wanted to have betting on, and I didn't. So when I got the first pick in our draft, I know I took Rory over Scotty, and everybody was giving me a hard time over it. I just didn't think Scotty was going to win it, in back-to-back years. I felt like this is the time to take Rory. It paid off, of course. And, one more thing that nobody talked about in this tournament, but my guy that everybody hates, if he doesn't 3-putt 13, he's in the playoff with Rose and Rory, and that's Patrick Reed, who finished solo third. He 3-putted, I think, from 3 feet on 13.
Yes, he did.
If he doesn't do that, he's in the playoff. And speaking to him real quick, if you're looking at next year, and I already bet him, he was 100-1 with this tournament, and he's 90-1 to win the Masters next year. I already threw $10 on him. I don't know what the deal is. I know people don't like him, which I understand, but I think he's got 5 top 10 finishes there now. He's won it. He got third this year.
Right.
He should be 30-1 type guy, not 90-1. I already bet him.
Yeah, that course, just there's certain players, and Oberg is one of those. Oberg, I mean, he's obviously not going to be 90-1. He's going to be probably a 10-1, 12-1 guy, but he's another one. He's, we talked about his disastrous end, but 2 times there, 2 high finishes. He's going to be a guy that's going to compete there every year. Tiger, when he is healthy and when he is there, he will compete every year there. Fred Couples, Bernard Longer, this was his last one. He almost made the cut. I mean, Zach Johnson, best finish since when he won it, and tied 8th. And talk about Scotty, the best player in the world. Him and Rory can go back and forth now, but over the last couple of years, it's been Scotty. He didn't play very good, but what'd he get, 4th or 5th?
Tight, something tight. I think he finished 8 under or something like that.
7 or 8 under. Yeah, so he didn't play bad. He just was never quite in it, but just always made enough. And so he's another guy that's he's always going to be there. And then, of course, you always have your ones that you think you're going to be there and they just don't. And, a Dustin Johnson-ish or whatever. And he's just, I don't know if he's gotten old or just, again, I don't pay attention to his golf game like I used to when he was on the PGA Tour. And he just plays golf, wins a lot of money. And Koepka's Koepka's, I think, missed the cut by 1. But those guys you haven't heard anything about them yet. Now, Koepka's been a U.S. Open and PGA Championship. That's been his 2. So those are the next 2 majors, and he's won both of them multiple times, right?